NECC Week 3 brings us Post-University Purple facing off with Clark University. Here, Clark University sitting at 1-1, Post-University Purple at 0-3, looking to get their first season win here tonight. Let's go to the pitch now and begin game number 1 of this best of 5. Appreciate you all joining us for a special double header as well. And right off the bat, it'll be AmishKing starting us off with a scoring 1-0 here as Swish with a perfect 50-50 to set him up. And it's exactly the start that you want to see for Post-University Purple, who have had, I mean, there's no way around it, a pretty rough start to the season, but right now, you come out hot, and that's exactly what you want to see. We're looking for an example of this team to start clicking. Obviously, Webb is brand new to this team, so you want to incorporate all three. But right now, you see the OGs also leading by example. MJ, though, going to respond pretty quickly here and even at 1. MJ using that corner, propelling it up. AmishKing just a little bit off the mark when it comes to that read there defensively. Wasn't able to get up and make the save. And Clark University has drawn even, as both teams really trying to find their footing right now. Hasn't been the most organized there. Webb had a prime opportunity to perhaps get a goal there, as it sat right there in the middle. Just couldn't quite find it. Now a shot from Ben looked pretty harmless overall, but Post-University Purple still trying to get their feet back under them after that last defensive challenge. They will get out to midfield here. This one, Swish could get the touch, but does jump out, get the bump. MJ's waiting back too, and it'll be AmishKing to send it all the way across the net to the other side. Touch from Swish, AmishKing needing to field that one, as Swish will argue that it was a back pass. Yes, of course. But either way, they'll get to it now. Shot taken, this one in the box, and Ben will finish it 2-1 here for Clark. Killstar up for it. Swish went to challenge in this one. Well, it hit the bar and fell right down into, well, not the best territory there for Post-University. Fell right back down in front, and the defense couldn't get their wheels back before it attempting to at least get a save there. And Clark University has continued the 2-in-a-row streak. Continue their little hot streak here, and now enjoying their first lead of the day. But this one left wide open. Webb trying to get around it for a shot, but unfortunately will miss the mark. And Killstar back on it again. Will play down the field. Prime opportunity there to tie it here for Post-University Orange, or Purple rather, and then but just couldn't get around it and find the right angle. But they're doing all the right things, trying to find these passes where they lay. Look at Webb getting up there on the wall, trying to center a ball. That one's pretty free for Amish. He'll turn. Shot taken a little high, though, and will be propelled off the back end. Shot taken again. It's still there. Swish will finish it. And we're all tied up at 2 with 2:47 left. Good job from Swish. Not only just creating that pressure, but maintaining the pressure as well. Here in the Navigators division, it always takes a little bit of time to get those mechs up. I mean, most of these players don't have quite the experience that you'd see at some of the higher levels of NECC. But what they do have is that same passion. And what they do have is pretty solid level of game sense. They're just trying to translate it to the old thumbs. And right now, they're starting to do a good job to warm up. That is another great play. AmishKing able to grab the lead back here from Post-University after Swish set him up with a great pass. MJ wasn't able to connect, and Webb went across it as well, distracting the defense, as AmishKing was able to label that one and give Post Purple 3-2 lead in this game number 1 in this best of 5 if you're just joining us. Swish and AmishKing. A stellar job trying to work in tandem together. It's been working. And Clark University is vulnerable right now. They do have a match win on the season already, but they also have a loss. And if you can catch them in the mindset of You know, this is a difficult team to face, and perhaps you have a decent shot, but Killstar's got other ideas. Found a loose ball there as Webb bumped into AmishKing, and by the time Webb was able to get across, neither could Swish. Just a little bit of a gap there at the top of the box, and Clark University was able to recognize that and place it in the twine. Super entertaining game here in the Navigators division, because it has been that close back and forth. Both teams have made plenty of mistakes, but both teams have also bounced back and taken advantage of the opportunities when the other team makes those mistakes. So you really like to see that at this level of play. In the 3 matches played for Post University Purple, they've only managed 1 win, but getting another one on the board here could really get them kick-started, revved up, and working towards a turning point in the season, which is for sure what Coach Chixxa and the gang is waiting for currently. They've got a prime opportunity to do it here. Swish trying to get up, couldn't do much with it here. Webb will send it the length of the pitch. Good clear. Now it's Amish back on it. He'll direct it towards the center. Webb does get the touch past 2 members of the defense, and now Swish will be left in this 1v1. Shielded against Kill. Now he'll be stepping up as well. This one defended nicely by Ben. And Clark University got out because Post University Purple, they were knocking on the door. The bouncer, Swish all the way back out. MJ and Ben trying to coordinate who is going to go for it there. The challenge, Webb back to it as well. His challenge on Killstar will leave it high for Swish. Turn made here from Amish. Takes the shot, but Ben was wise to it. Was able to get to it before anybody else can. Oh, Swish, good move. Pulls it back down with a triple. But it'll be Ben again. They touch it away. MJ on it too. Amish, quick turn. This will be above the defense. Killstar needs a touch. Gets a big one there for Clark. Swish wants to keep it up here. Amish trying to get to it. It's off that little bit of a corner. And stayed up momentarily. Maybe somebody could have crashed the box, but it was hard to read for them. And we have ourselves overtime in game number 1 already. Look at Amish. I love Amish and the way he's been crashing this box, being aggressive. Never a time where you don't see a timely challenge when it's the right time to rotate in. Amish has been good. As Webb had to be careful there, almost was using his momentum to go back towards the net, almost hit into his own net. So very, very smart mind, quick decision making to get out of the way and not toss that into your own net there for overtime. Webb with another good challenge here. That'll stagnate the forward momentum of Clark. And this one will work all the way back here. Swish, no. Amish was trying to get to it as well. He bumped the own man out of his way, but luckily able to get back to it. MJ. Now that 50-50. Look at Amish back on it again. Now off the corner, Webb will turn and he'll play it to the corner. I like the way that Webb is playing with confidence. Another big touch there to keep MJ moving in the backwards fashion rather than being able to move to post side. This one, now to the corner. That'll allow Swish to regain some boost. He was very low. The extra touch, well read by MJ. Finds his way back to Amish. Swish waiting for it. Now will eventually dive to it. That's a big clear out of the zone. Left in the middle. Webb trying to find somebody. A great pass. Amish back up. Swish shot taken, but a little bit wide. Webb keeps it forward. Good bump on Ben as well. That'll allow Swish to come up Rex in rotation. Off the corner, MJ will pop it high. But look at it again. It's Amish off the backside of Ben, and Webb scores! 4-3 in overtime. Oh, the newbie comes in and is able to make the difference. Ben couldn't help but get that touch off the backside of his car. Webb will win it in overtime. That's the performance that Chixxa was looking for out of Webb here. And it was all about that confidence. That second half of that game is exactly what they're looking for from Webb, being that support player, being able to recognize whenever there are opportunities there that just arise and show themselves. And so when on paper, you might be, you know, the player that's looked upon as, hey, let us do a little bit more extra work here. And Webb said, nah, I'm getting in there. I'm getting me some. Gets that goal. And one shot was all it took, and it was the overtime winner. Loved seeing that for Webb. I mean, Amish, though, it's got to be the MVP of that game number 1 here. And, you know, Swish was starting to find the groove as well. If all 3 members do exactly what they did in game number 1, Post Purple is bound to get a little bit momentum rolling. But they got a lot of work to do. That's just game number 1. We're about to hop into game number 2 now. And, I mean, Clark was in it as well. This was back and forth between these 2 teams. You can tell the dedication both ways, but Post University Purple came up with a huge overtime winner here in game 1. But now can they recycle that? Find a way to win 2 more in this series. Get your first series win. That is the goal here at this point. Nothing less for Chixxa and the Post University Purple Rocket League team. Swish, pretty open here, but realized she couldn't get the handle. Otherwise had to backtrack to it. Back pass. And Killstar on it already. This one will bounce into the box. And took a shot, but it was a little bit wide. It'll go to the corner. And now left for MJ. He's going to take a shot here. And Clark up to the 1-0 lead. They had a lead for about maybe 8-10 seconds or so in the last game before Post was able to retie the game and then take the lead eventually in overtime. But other than that, they haven't had the lead at all. So we'll see how they can play with this lead. Maybe that looks better on the Clark University team. Maybe they have a little bit more success playing with the lead, a little bit more confidence. Even comfortability would really suit them at this point. But Amish, looking to cause chaos like they're able to in game number 1. This one will play high in Webb. He's going to hold all the way back and allow Swish to jump to it. This one should waterfall down. The read, not quite there, but very close from Swish. And Swish, last season, we saw a lot of good out of the Swish camp. Was, by every sense of the word, one of the most effective players last season. Coming in, it's been a little bit of a rocky start. But you're starting to get that group back, but so is Clark. As that little chip there threw off the Post defense. Credit Killstar all day for that shot. 2-0 Clark. And Ben will just loosely play one here. Webb couldn't quite find the read. We'll watch again as I believe Webb was waiting and anticipating how strongly Amish has been getting the challenges to be able to touch that. 50-50 was almost inevitable in that moment in Webb's eyes, I think. And you know, sometimes when you don't have the mechs quite yet, it can be very difficult to try and get to a ball when it's a late reaction because of the anticipation being a little bit off. And that'll allow Clark to get up to this 3-0 lead now. Good bounce back effort already from Clark University. Now it's up to the Eagles to soar high. Look at the double peel off, a bit of a rainbow action there both ways from Clark. They will eventually organize here, and Amish take matters to their own hand. This is off the corner here, and Swish will look to settle down. Killstar will turn here into the corner. Bounce one back out, but it wasn't powerful enough to get around the Post University defense here. Amish, great setup. Swish, a bullet, and they're back within 2. Amish, number 1, great 50-50, making up for the lack of one in the last play. Puts it off that back wall, and Swish was ready to charge in the box at the perfect time and be able to label one. To pull Post University back within 1, but that's off the kickoff. Swish had to recover there. A little bit of a dangerous work off the kickoff, but Amish ready for it. We'll play it back out. Webb, oh, he almost struck. Works as a fake, and Amish will bury another one. They're back within one. MJ couldn't quite get the touch, and Killstar had no choice but to assume that Webb was going to take a shot there, and whether it was intentional or not, it peeled off, served as a fake, and now it's Amish leading the charge as the true striker here for Post Purple, and will give them an opportunity to get back within arm's reach. And that's what they've done. Meanwhile, Clark going for this challenge. Amish faked off it by Ben. That's a good sidestep, but Swish be keen to it and jump on it directly afterwards. And we'll pull down Killstar, MJ. They run into each other. Ben needs a big touch here and does get it there at midfield. We'll set up for Swish, back down to Amish. Missed. Webb will try for it next. Not quite able to get it, and Killstar takes a shot. There's Swish up for a big save. Quick turn. Ben right back at you. Can't take a breather, and Swish does it. Uses the wall pinch out, but Clark's offense is relentless. He'll turn it directly back in. Swish continues to try to build him out. And now left for Amish. MJ with yet another challenge, and they've been really holding Post Purple at bay, keeping them hemmed into their own end just by playing it behind them. A little bit of chip and chase, as we call it in the hockey world. This one will play high. Shot taken. Amish! What a save! Again, the reaction, unreal. MJ will leave it here. Ben turns. It'll be Amish right back on it. Amish, a chance to direct it towards net. 50-51. This is off the corner. Swish turns, holds down. Killstar back down as well. MJ will play it, but it's loose. Amish had an opportunity. Will just bump off the last member back. 20 seconds left. Swish off that backside. Amish shot taken. MJ able to shut it down. Now it's back down, and Webb will try after it. Ben on it, just needs to kill a little bit more time, and MJ will play it the length of the pitch for Clark. But that's going to be pinched back out. 3 seconds. Amish needs to get to it or have it hit the wall. It's going to stay up in the air temporarily. Killstar is trying to kill it and will. Great 50-50 to kill it down. And Clark University has evened the series at 1. All the steps were taken from Post University Eagles there. The purple team was able to almost make the comeback a reality. But that's why you establish a lead. I like what Clark University was able to do early in that game versus what they were able to accomplish last game early in it. And when you establish that lead, that makes it very difficult to dig out of. Even if you're trying to accomplish that comeback, it takes multiple moments of recognition to overcome what Clark University was able to build and establish early. And so they weren't able to quite make the comeback happen, and that's what happens when you start games on time. So for Post University Purple, they're definitely in comms right now saying all we have to do is, we just have to get out to an early start, play exactly how you did in the comeback, ride that momentum into the next game, and get to match point. And they definitely have the opportunity to do so. You can tell that this is a very balanced match in that both teams are going to be after it till the very end of this match. So starting now into game number 3, winner of this game will go to match point. And Post University Purple looking to bounce back from that last effort. Will they be able to get it done? Back to the pitch we go. Starting off, Clark trying to get that early start, just like they did last game, but Swish was able to shut them down a little bit earlier. And Swish will hold off Killstar. From the corner, you can tell Killstar has got some mechanics in the back pocket. Is the true striker of this team. What a play, Killstar. Wow. Excellent start again, swung around this one, and even though they missed, you can tell by the boost usage alone that this is not just an accident. You happen to be falling in the right place, yes, but you did that on purpose. You were going across the net in case that one didn't fall. So all of that was 100% intentional. And that's why I love that play from Killstar to make it 1-0 here for Clark. post purple here, though. Looking for the answer. Swish will bump a couple of times, too, trying to allow another member of post to step up. And Webb did make the right choice to step up. So it's still like the decision making. And sometimes it can be a little bit frustrating when your mechanics won't do exactly what your mind's trying to make it do, right? But you got to stick with it, and eventually you can surprise yourself, especially if you're putting in the time and effort that I know post-university tends to put into the work. Like many of the college programs these days, a lot of these programs are really starting to realize what it takes to be competitive. Not only just one season, like the Post-University Orange Championship of the NECC Northeast Emergence Division last season. You have to ride into the next season and try to put up similar results, or at least, you know, try to match that same energy. Obviously, Post-Orange, the other Rocket League team here at Post-University, has been promoted to the Challengers League, which is always awesome. But naturally, you want to continue to have success no matter where you are. And Post-Purple also, also lost a member of their team from last season, needing a sub for the Orange roster, I believe. And so, for that reason, when you don't have that same roster, you bring in new members. And it's very hard to match the success you had last season, but all it takes is work. Right now, they've been willing to put in the work. They took game one, Post-University Purple did. But now Clark, similar story as game number 2. They've got their third on the board. This time it's Killstar. It's the second of the game after a highlight reel goal the first time around. That time it just took a backside shot with the door wide open. And Clark up to 3-0 lead. Great kickoff win by Webb to win it backwards here from Swish. This one will fall down. Good read. Recognizing the defense was missing. And just like in game number 2, Swish doing big things to try to keep them close. It's very tempting to just drive away, assuming the defense is going to get to that one. But Swish was able to read the distance and said, I don't think they can get here. And so he just jumped in at the right time and was able to bury that one and give Post that opportunity again to get kick-started. Last time they were able to find another one, but couldn't quite close out the 3-goal comeback. You require the same effort here, and perhaps it'll fall for you this time. You just got to play and trust the system. Trust the process. Some other Eagles fans would say. And some other Philadelphia teams. Anyways, I digress. MJ to challenge this one. We'll just send it up the wall. Webb's next to touch. The 50-50. Not exactly what they had in mind, but it does fall in the hands of Amish anyways. And Swish will turn. Challenged instantly. Killstar back on it as well. This will go off the back wall. In a dangerous spot. Webb couldn't get the touch, but Swish will. They didn't get the velocity that they wanted either, and this one will just play high. Amish will wait back for it as Swish was just chopping at it. Wanted to buy a little bit more time, but maybe waited a little too long to get back to it, and Ben was able to get to it. MJ leaves it, called off by Killstar. Great sidestep past one member of the defense. We'll try to look for more victims, but Swish was not having it. And we'll play it down the length of the pitch. Ben wasn't able to clear it. Swish again, a great read. This one will fool Amish, and it'll fall all the way back to midfield. Even though Webb was trying for the challenge here, it'll fall back to Swish. Now off the sidewall in Killstar. Back at it, off the corner, shot, thinking about it, but couldn't quite take it, was Clark. And they don't really need this goal. They already have a little bit of a cushion going, and killing more time might actually be more effective instead of giving the reset. Back to Post. Killstar off it. Only 30 seconds left here for Post. MJ shot taken, a little bit wide. This one followed up. Ben takes a shot. Webb couldn't get to it. Amish will at least make a save to keep it within reach but time is running out. Good read from AmishKing. This will be all the way down the pitch. Off the corner it goes. Fake. Swish try to get to a demo. Given out, dished out, and that'll do it. Clark up to match point with this victory here in game number 3. It's just the early starts from Clark University that's been making the difference. Oh, and probably Killstar too, who had an amazing game overall. That's a hat trick in this one. 3 goals, 3 shots. Talk about efficiency. And you gotta talk about Killstar. Definitely the member of Clark that Post needs to come out and target. There's no doubt about it. Not to discredit Ben and MJ. I've seen big plays out of them as well. But there's really, you see the mechanics. You know that Killstar is a little bit more advanced overall than basically most in the lobby here currently. I mean, that goes without saying here at Navigator. So you're seeing these air dribbles that are clean. Doesn't always happen there. But Killstar going to make a car swap, I imagine. To the left of the lobby will probably be back here momentarily. But a lot of that game was played in Clark University's offensive side. And when Post was able to transfer it over to the offensive end, Clark just found the defensive plays here. It's nothing to bang your head up against the wall currently and get frustrated over. Post University will try to bounce back here and get 2 in a row. And we'll see if they can accomplish it. As we're about to hop into game number 4. And it's do or die time here for the Post University Purple team. And for Clark, a chance to close out. Back to the pitch, 5 minutes on the clock. Game number 4 begins now. We're looking at the star-studded player in Killstar. That perspective showed MJ on the carry back out, but also the challenge of Post University Purple off the bat. Here, Amish almost got that read. I love the ambition on that one. Can quite find it. That's not the backside car. The car of Ben. Nobody from Post could step up quite in time. Swish was there for the challenge there eventually when it bounced out to the corner. And this one will fall all the way back for MJ, and he'll make it clear. Swish recognizing there's only one back, so he popped it high, tried to get Amish to follow and perhaps get that bump on Killstar. This one will also find its way to the top of the box, but Ben is wise to it. And back to it he goes. Amish. Eyeball and Swish, other side of the box, pops out in front, needs the adjustment. By the time they could adjust, they try to maybe hand it back down to Swish. It was the only option at that angle, but didn't quite find him. And back out it goes. Oh, another great passing play. They crash the box, but Amish able to make a big save again. And this is a big step forward here. Minute 25 in, still no goal for Clark. Those early starts that Clark has been getting has been denied thus far. But Post University Purple need to play the way they have been playing in the second half of these games and get a goal on the board here. If they score first, they give themselves an excellent chance. But instead, unfortunately, off the backside is Swish. A play he 100% wants back here. Swish, I think, just heard the tires rolling towards his car and just had to, maybe didn't have to rush it, but felt like you need a touch in that moment so quickly that you panic a little bit and own goal it is. For Post, you, not the end of the world. Here, the only goal that's been against you has been you. So, jump back out, get one on the other net this time. And Amish plans to do just that. A bounce into the zone here. Ben needs to make a touch. Makes one sideways. Swish turns on it. The 50-50 actually served as a shot. They were able to get the defense on it as well. Back down to MJ. He looks for Killstar. Killstar, shot taken, Swish. Big save. Hangs out there at the box, and Amish able to get to a great read there defensively from Post University Purple. Amish trying to buy some time. Killstar will back pass it to MJ. Touch, a little bit loosely played, and Amish able to get to it again. This will bounce off the corner. Killstar being pressured. Let's Swish. The 50-50 actually launches it out to midfield. And Killstar back out to it. Again, a couple of touches. Directs it back. Swish takes one from all the way in our own end. It was a little bit wide. Still on it, though. Floats this one off the post. Killstar to turn. And try to launch it back down in kill time. But post purple challenging Clark. Forcing them to make these big saves. Again, Ben has to come up big. Swish tries to get the read off that corner. This one will fall. Amish the shot just high. Yet another great opportunity from Post, but they couldn't quite close the door. On it, Amish. Back to it. Swish was a little bit too far forward, but still on it. That one launched off the curve. Back to the corner again. We'll see what kind of heart, see what kind of stamina Post University Purple has right now. They've been challenging Clark. They've been finding opportunities and coming just that close. But close is not good enough. They want a goal on the board. And the last thing they can do is surrender a goal right now. So as much as you want to commit forward and make more opportunities happen, really, you'd shoot yourself in the foot if you leave the net wide open. So now is when you have to play responsibly. A bit of trigger discipline, a bit of aggressive discipline. You don't want to get too aggressive. Not until you hit about the 15-second left mark. Here's MJ again. Amish will pop it high. Swish to follow this one. It should waterfall down. Extra touch, though. And I was able to make a read. Killstar was already back, and they'll clear it out. Now is the final push. Now is when you have to all systems go. Swish down the field here. Ben will look to turn. He's got the corner. Swish now will bounce one towards the net. Killstar plays it high. Nobody was able to get to it here. Amish couldn't quite find it across. And Clark University will win this series 3-1. Well, I mentioned that Killstar was the one that needs to be targeted there, and really wasn't able to do much with it. Those two shots that you saw on the scoreboard were really not even ones that were too dangerous overall, and they saved both of them. So the 1-0 loss there in game number 4 rather, doesn't feel too great, but you made steps in the right direction. You're able to take one win from Clark, who had those early starts. You started solving problems. Clark was getting early goals, and so preventing that in game number 4, a step in the right direction. Of course, you want a series win, but it just was not there. Not at least in this match, but luckily, Post Purple will be playing another one against the Raging Cajuns after this quick break.